Hey people, interested VV3 Faction War. This is SDL Province and Chaos Space Marines versus Eldar. For the Blue Chaos team, we have Omega as a Plague Champion, starts off in ranged combat with a damage of a time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support alongside. Lokyo with a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive disruptive hero with powerful control and battlefield manipulation, fighting in melee combat by default. Rounding off the team, Centzontotochtin with a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive hero, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption, fighting in melee. We have the Word Bearers DLC recolored blue, looking pretty good. Red Eldar team Mustafa 007 is a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero that fights in ranged combat by default, great for capping and harassing with some powerful control. The same Han elite scheme here, grab the VP. Alongside Darkar is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that can leap into combat, some powerful disruption and support. And rounding off the teams is Lucidic with a Farseer, a support hero that fights in melee with strong buffs and control abilities. Looks like Darkar dodged the Doom bolts in the background there. Lucidic, one of those really long time Dawn of War 2 players, I'm talking a decade or so, smacking on some barrels there, well done, who sometimes comes out of retirement for these faction war events. Looks like we're going to get a 2v2 fight. Heretics getting too close to all of the Eldar pew pew, and they go down. Doom bolts was decent, a Doom blast and run there, probably another one here. Yeah, Doom blast and run again. They got rid of one of the Banshees, but there's still another one coming in towards the CSM. A good thing they retreated when they did, actually. Where's the Sorcerer? Smacking through some Dire Avengers. Dire Avengers wiping. Wipes on both sides. Those were Lucidic's Dire Avengers, I think. Chaos Lord needs to be careful. There's a good kill to weak. Can he kill some Banshees? Because they're not weak. Decent special. It's hard to tell. Well, impossible to tell which unit has the hit points, you know. Which model. He gets away. West side has turned blue. Well done, Omega. Got some Nurgle worship. We got some Eternal War on the way. We have some grenade launchers on the way. Who needs new units? Just upgrade the ones you have. Looks like Mustafa's waiting for the Guardian weapon team to hit the field with Shuriken before they try to take it back. Grenade launchers could disrupt them, of course. Warp Spider might try to tie them up so they can't fire grenades regularly, at least. They can still do their barrage if they're tied up. CSM going into melee. Plague Champion might want to tie up these guys yet, although his melee damage is horrifically bad by default. In he goes. Meanwhile, Warlock has pushed through for the decap. I don't think they got onto the power, did they? We have Noise Marines on the field for Centzontotochtin and triple CSM for Lokyo. I was not expecting that. Maybe that was a mistake. Yep, says in the chat there. That's a pro-injured move, leaving your CSM on Overwatch. Sword of Flame on the field for the Chaos Sorcerer. I wonder if he'll just sacrifice one of those CSM squads for the population back. More population means more upkeep. And since he's well over 30, he's going to be paying upkeep. That is Mind War into a grenade. Mind War from the Ghost Helm of the Farseer. That's a dead CSM squad, I think. Yep. Farseer gets the last attack. Bad news for Centzontotochtin. Are they going to replace those CSM? You've got Heretics with an aspiring champion, and Noise Marines very good at taking down and shaking apart structures. Looks like this generator took some damage, I think, from Lokyo early on from his CSM. I think they also caught the Banshees in retreat path. I saw on the map as I was looking at the west side. Took some models off him. The Banshees of Mustafa with the aspect of strength, as you'd expect against Chaos. Helps you against that early blood pressure. Lucidic though, no mark yet. We got infiltrated Banshees, thanks to the webway, setting themselves upon the Noise Marines. Shuriken kind of tickling the Chaos Lord there. Can't suppress the big fella, but he'll take a lot of damage if he gets close. Sword of Flame and Vestments of the Warp. We just saw the Sorcerer teleport in. Did not put Coruscating Flame on himself though. Banshees with Guide Up going in. There's a good grenade on the Noise Marines. Gets rid of those guys. Takes out one of the models. gets rid of them, I mean makes them retreat. More grenades going in, some friendly fire on the heroes there, but they'll be okay. Killed some heretics. Chaos Lord dealt with. Double shurikens in his face, and Mustafa also has double shurikens. CSM drop. Banshee chase, those guys got level 2. Darkar with double Guardian Weapon teams. Lucidic with no other unit up. Did replace the Lost Dire Avengers, I suppose. Oh, Plague Champion's down, he's got his Plague Sword. Raptors up as well. And lost some heretics and replaced them. So lots of stuff happening on the west side. Eldar getting through again. It's the Farseer this time getting a decap level 2 with that Ghost Helm. More heretics on the way for Omega. Got to keep the aspiring champion on one. Well, at least don't get grenade launchers on both because of the Banshees, I guess. Chaos Lord's got his Combi Flamer. Good range damage as he chases things around. Also gives you the Immolate. And there's a Dark Halo that'll help him just kind of face tank the Guardian weapon teams if the Sorcerer can't deal with them both. No sign of Sigil of the Rift, which could help against setup teams. He's probably thinking about tier 2. Speaking of tier 2, Lucidic goes for a quick tier 2. Maybe a Falcon. CSM happy to engage here. Eldar trying to block line of sight so they get a little bit closer. Warlock gets into trouble, does a special attack and runs. Farseer is very low, needs to be careful of Bolter Fire out of infiltration just like that. And down she goes. Should get revived, I think, from there. There's the Dark Halo from the Chaos Lord. Needs some support trying to face down this Guardian weapon team. Grenades going in. Doom Bolts going in. Banshees dealt with, but are still Banshees on the field going after the Chaos Lord. He might just let himself die here and hope that Lokyo can revive. Yep, down goes the Chaos Lord. Lots and lots of pew pew. Heretics in amongst the Dire Avengers though. Can they wipe out those Banshees? Surely they can. I think they did. Did they? Yes, they did. Darkar had a bad time in that fight. They came across Omega here and tripled this east side that leaves Mustafa open to bash power on the west side with Banshees, which are decent at it. Have to get into melee range, of course, and Warp Spider with some decapping has improved targeters. Darkar is tier 2. Tries to respond now with a Warp Spider squad. Sorcerer teleporting out of trouble. Aspiring Champion Heretic is a detector, so could spot that webway there. 340 to 439. Warlock in amongst some Raptors. These are Omega's fellas, a jump troop that can suppress when they land on you. And they deal with the Warlock with some help of a Plague Champion with his melee resistance ignoring Plague Sword. They got a decap too. It's a good push by the blue team. Even cap this power. Maybe they can node it and be really annoying. Bit of a blob cap going in. Raptors jump in. Oh, they lost those heretics. That was really sloppy from Omega. Got a Warp Spider zombie and teleported it in to be a nuisance. Raptors dropped a model, but they're okay. Omega's going to be the last player to go tier 2. And they are floating a bit. Got Dark Creepers on the way now for Darkar. And Mustafa with some Fire Dragons inbound. Blood Letters for Lokyo. Grenade. It's a decent one. Banshees, I think, is too open for them to approach. Yeah, needs to back off. A fighting retreat from Mustafa. Some infiltration there. Lokyo. You know what? I was going to say Lokyo should be able to get the west side, but with the shuriken set up, one in the garrison, one outside, maybe not. Sorcerer couldn't deal with the one in the garrison. And these guys are just going to get messed up. Need to back away. They're right on the edge, so they're not taking a huge amount of damage. Edge of the firing up, that is. East side. Red team have to bash the power to get it back. There we go. Warlock, you have any more war gear, Mr. Warlock? I can't select you. There we go. Channeling runes. For the channeling... It's just called channeling, that's right. It's not channeling rights. I'm thinking of the spirit stones with spiritual rights. Level 2 Farseer. Level 2 Warlock, level 2 Warp Spider. Oh, Plague Champion spoils it by still being level 1. We've got level 3 Sorcerer too. Okay, is all the power up? Soon to be. Been pretty even with power bashes, I think. Fire Dragons on the way now for Lucidic. Lots of heretics have died, but they're pretty cheap to reinforce. Only 12. I think Chaos are doing okay. They need a strong start to tier 2 though. Fire Dragons on the way now for Lucidic. Raptors jumping the Guardian weapon team. I wonder if Omega probably didn't know that there was one in the garrison as well when it jumped. Demon Maul up on the aspiring champion there. Plague Champion goes after some Banshees. Should do pretty well here. Creates a Banshee zombie. And fights some more Banshees. Aspect of fleetness on these ladies. These are Lucidic's Banshees. Coming all the way over to the west side. 287, 414. A decent VP lead here for the Eldar. Here are your Fire Dragons with their fusion guns. Good damage to all targets from close range and have some good mobility as you'd expect from an Eldar unit, I suppose. Now entangling web for Mustafa to perhaps lock down the Plague Champion or the Raptors after they jump. Sorcerer's almost level 4. Has done some work with that sword of his. Bloodletters on the field. Demons with power melee weapons can teleport and phase out of existence to ignore damage, which is quite fun for those fellas. Coming to the west side. Might get a nasty flank actually on Mustafa. Bashing power with Fire Dragons. They're very good at it. The Fire Dragon Exarch can switch to a Flamer these days. I don't think I've ever seen him do it. I'm not sure why you would, to be honest. The Melters bash power just fine. I guess fighting when all the vehicles explode, you can mess up some light infantry with it. Good grenade on those Raptors. It did drop a model. Entangling web was also on them there. Plague Champion is level 2. Might be worth it to get the Mucus Discharge, I think, to help heal the Raptors up and stuff. Gonna get the west side back. Meanwhile, east side. Good grenade. Blood Sacrifice Bloodletters now for Centzontotochtin and a Chaos Dreadnought. Got that autocannon by default. Decent damage to all targets with a small AoE. And that underslung twin-linked bolter, not to mention the scary-looking claw. Big old retreat from Eldar. These guys done for. 1 hit point, down they go. Dark Creepers, are they in trouble? No, they're out there. Sorcerers on the Guardian weapon team now. And they're populating this contested power is Mustafa. Autarch dropped in by Lucidic. Did some good work with those stunning grenades on entry. That very graceful special attack she has. Has to jump out though. Heal on landing and a damage buff. With a passive damage resistance bonus too. Although I don't think those Banshees are close enough right now for it. Or maybe it's just being covered up by the fact that they have the offensive bonuses going on. Has her spear ready. It's a power weapon unlike the Banshee spear. Darkar responds with the other Guardian weapon team, of course. Had to recover from those heavy losses at the end of Tier 1. Tier 3 for Lokyo and Centzontotochtin. Could see some tanks. It's a good map for tanks, Estia. Little bit of a harassment on the power there. Warp Spider teleports out level 2. So Bloodletters being demons do not get suppressed. Because, you know, courage on demons. But they do take a lot of damage this close to the Shuriken. Being exploded there. Entangling web on the CSM. Here comes a nice assist from Lucidic. Retreat grenade. It wasn't quite as great as it could have been. Those guys did have Doom on them from the Farseer's Doombringer. Raptors jumping in. I think his jumps have been a little bit sloppy, Omega. Didn't actually suppress anything with that jump. Grenade is dodged though. And they still have their aspiring champion, Warlock. No war gear. Well, no more war gear on this fella. We have a webway going up here. Warp Spider's being used to bash. Having to teleport away from the Heretics. And then they take the garrison. Heretics can't really do much about that without their grenade launchers. Warlock gets onto the natural VP. Not sure what these fellas are up to. Why are you worshipping Tzeentch in base? I guess he's got his plans, old Tzeentch. The Chaos Dreadnought of Omega now, taking a bunch of damage from the Fire Dragons. That was crack shot on those guys you saw. Global buff from the Warp Spider Exarch, giving him more range. And I think more damage too. Uh-oh. Autarch might go down. I'm pretty sure they can jump. There we go. Jumped a little bit late. And the Autarch lives with 15 hit points. 108 to 414. Big VP lead for the Eldar. Wraithlord on the field now for Darkar. Oh, they wiped out the Raptors there. Yes, they did. Huh. Omega's down to 2 units all of a sudden. Also lost their heretics along the way. Here we see the Chaos Predator for Lokyo. And one on the way for Centzontotochtin. Good place for a webway gate. Bloodletter's getting torn up on approach. Double CSM will turn and fire. Looks like they have decapped this power but didn't steal it. Should have just bashed it, I think. Wraithlord has a big old Ghost Glaive sword, I think they call it. Heavy melee damage with a splash. Massive chunks of it. Attacks quite slowly, but does more damage per hit than a Dreadnought. Just doesn't have the DPS. Tank's now getting shots in. Doesn't have a mark, but hey, it's still a tank. Centzontotochtin, also the tank rolling out. And putting pressure on the east side. The Dreadnought's done well here. Chaos Lord with the Harness of Rage gives energy back. In a radius around him too, so you can support Raptors and stuff with that pretty well. Blue team looking to get back this west side. Rear armor shown from the tank though. And the Fire Dragons, I think they could have stayed there. Maybe not stayed enough to defeat it. But the Noxious Cloud scared them off pretty quickly. 56 to 414. Tier 3 for Mustafa and Tier 3 for Lucidic. I think Lokyo and Centzontotochtin went in really good time. It's a really good time to go. Mark of Nurgle up for Centzontotochtin's tank. We have Eternal War and an aspiring champion for these CSM fellas. Looks like a new webway's going up. I think the Heretics found the other one. And they're using Fire Dragons for some power harass out of the webway. Pretty damn effective. Whole bunch of Eldar coming through the mid. Buffed by the Autarch. Here we see the blue damage resistance aura now of the Autarch. Doesn't benefit from it herself though. Haywire on the Predator tank. No mark yet, but I think it's going to be okay. We don't see a shoulder mounted weapon yet for the Wraithlord. There's the tier 3 for Lucidic. I assume they're going to go for a Fire Prism here. But maybe a D-Cannon first. Mustafa probably wants to get a D-Cannon up on the west side. Oh, a Markov Zinch Chaos Dreadnought. Going to be a big threat to the Wraithlord. Also, any Fire Prisms it can get its sights on. They'll still have the west side. Down to 51 VPs though. It's going to be tough. But they're certainly well in this game. Big push by Eldar. Fire Dragons are firing upon a bunch of CSM. There's a phase shift. Is it going to be into a nuke? That's from the phase armor. Do they have the red? They do have the red, and the Dreadnought's right there. But they did not try to nuke it. Wraithlord having to be careful. Needs to start backing away, I think, because that Markov Zinch Dreadnought does not mess around once it spots a vehicle. That missile launcher is nasty. The Nurgle tank, not quite as good at taking out large targets, but gets huge durability boost. And this Nurgle crap autocannon, which is good versus blobs of infantry. Down goes the Wraithlord. We still have a Sonic Blaster in play from the Noise Marines. And why not? I think sometimes players are a little bit hasty to switch out of the Sonic Blaster. Still has value into the late game. Farseer went down as you saw. Blue team take their VP back. They are going to have a 2-to-1, maybe even a double. Chaos Lord should have been decapping, I think. Should have decapped. There's no generators here. Meanwhile, west side, down goes Omega's Dreadnought. Caught by triple Fire Dragons and a Bright Lance. That was pretty bad. subjugated Fire Dragons now. Note that they lost all their buffs when they got subjugated there. They had cracked shot on them, I think. Oh, it was an Eldritch on the tank, but it's still in the phase shift. Did it a little bit early, and it's been warp shifted out, or warped out, I should say, by the Sorcerer, but it's not going to be saved. Fire Dragons on rear armor. I think it did get stunned by the Eldritch, and just didn't get damaged. Here's the Fire Prism from Lucidic. Lokyo down to double CSM. Does have plenty of resources though. Is it worth getting a great unclean one up here? I mean, maybe not. That's a lot of Fire Dragons and Dark Creepers as well. I think just go tanks again. Maybe get some Havocs up too. Single cap now for Chaos. 2 Chaos Predators for Centzontotochtin. And we do see Mark of Corn on one of them. Taking big shots though from the Fire Prism from long range. Did they bash power? They kind of bash power. Omega's getting the Mark of Nurgle for their own Predator tank. Seems fitting. Doombolts go flying in. There's a Tome of Subjugation as you saw earlier on those Fire Dragons. I think blue team are going to get this back here. Oh, Shuriken could make a big difference though. There's another phase shift. Level 4 Warp Spider now. Looks like the Plague Champion is going to grab it. We got some Wraith Guard from Darkar. Just seems to want to get one of every unit or something. Fire Prism might be getting a bit too close to shootiness. Dreadnought trying to get around the shot blocker to finish it off, but couldn't quite manage it. Don't think I've seen the Frenzied Barrage yet. But I'm sure it happened if a level 3 Plague Champion now has a Mucus Discharge and Fetid Armor and a Holy Stench. Can make himself smell even worse than usual. Level 6 Sorcerer and a level 3 Chaos Lord. Oh hey, some Chaos Terminators I should say. Getting absolutely wrecked by Dark Creepers there. Didn't quite drop a model, and there's some Tzeentch worship to help him out. Not sure what these Noise Marines are up to. Trying to shut down the Dark Creepers, I think, but they used their pinning fire, I believe, to suppress them. Oh, maybe it was just a Shuriken, actually. It's right there. It's right there. How are the tanks doing? Level 1 and level 2 on this fella. Need some repairs. Here come Heretics to do so. What is this? It's a webway. It has been spotted, though. Fire Dragons popping out, though, messing up the tank. Noxious Cloud goes down from Omega from his global bar. They are going to get the tank, though. And maybe even the Nurgle Shrine, too. Maybe. The Shrine is suppressing those guys. Plague Champion goes down. Might get revived immediately, though, from a friendly neighborhood Chaos Sorcerer. Here's those Terminators. They are pretty low still. Might be worth marching those guys back to base, but they are really tight on the VPs. It's a double cap at the moment. Centzontotochtin's done really well pressuring the mid. As soon as I say that, of course, his Dreadnought goes down. But has done well. Looks like Mustafa's getting tons of lag. Not much more frustrating than trying to play a PvP game online with a bunch of lag. I know that pain. Landraider Phobos on the way for Lokyo. And another very late game Chaos Dreadnought from Omega. I'm not sure that's the way to go, buddy. Oh, cancelled it. Yeah, all these Fire Dragons and Bright Lances and stuff. Don't do that. Phobos will help maybe hunt down the Fire Prism. Not sure it's a great choice, though, with the anti-vehicle they have. I would just get a bunch of Havocs up. Maybe some Blastmaster Noise Marines. We'll see. That big Dirge Caster can be useful. And it is a big old chunk of hit points. Do they have any? No Eldritches available too. Eldar haven't taken a VP off the Chaos Space Marines for a while. Bashing power on the east side. They are doubling over here now. Sorcerer gets knocked on his ass by the Fire Prism. Shimmer Orb goes up to get the cap. Or at least a decap. blocks all range damage, but you can still smack him in the face in melee. Terminators, I think, were considering that, got teleported out when they saw the Banshees and everything else. They do have their autocannon. Havoc's up now for Omega. Plague Champion almost level 4. There he goes. Created a Dark Creeper zombie and a Noxious Cloud in there too. He's bringing the Plague. Warp Spider got the cap. Now they start taking VPs off them. 2 to 1. Can the blue team get it back straight away? Double Fire Prisms here for Lucidic. Centzon though continues to put great pressure on this VP. Really carrying his team, I think. Excuse me. There's the Land Raider Phobos with those las cannons on it. 34 to 172. Warlock's really low. So you're going for the VP? What's he up to? Got a Corn Shrine on the VP there from Centzontotochtin, who again gets the decap. Nurgle Preds doing their thing. Another Shrine going up here. 32 to 172. Triple Chaos Predators for Centzontotochtin. All of them with the mark of Nurgle. That's going to be really tough to chew through. It's a lot of vehicle hit points there. Eldar still have the west side, but the 2 to 1's back in Chaos favour again, thanks to Centzontotochtin. Has Mustafa got a tier 3 unit up yet? I don't think they have. I don't think so. Bloodletter's getting a decap. I think they're gonna do it too. Yep. So the Chaos Terminator is demoralizing units on kill. That's what the red effect is. Reducing the damage they do, and also increasing the damage they take, I believe, per stack. Can really add up if you can tear through units. Haywire on the tank here. Some Bright Lance shots as well. But there's 1,225 hit points. It's hard to get through. Even with anti-vehicle weapons. Chaos Lord, I think, is going to go down. Trying to stop the Wraith Guard getting their VP back. A double now for Chaos. West side kicking off. Autarch jumping in to buff those Banshees and heal them a bit. These Bloodletters here just idle from Omega. Misplay from the Plague Champion. He's got his Plague Fist though. Having a good time. Down to just 2 units. Bloodletters are losing that fight against buffed and leveled up Banshees. This is a level 4 Banshees here. Bloodletters having to phase shift out of existence to get away. Land Raider Phobos is taking a bunch of damage, but it's not under any real threat from the Shuriken Cannon there. Eldar are getting low, down to 62 VPs. Looks like they have taken out some tanks of Centzontotochtin. There's a Imperial Abyss from the Chaos Lord player. I'm not sure why they put it there. The units were right here. But it does stop the cap. And messed up the Banshees. Might finish off the Banshees. It does finish off the Banshees. They were too close. Pulled in by the chains of chaos there. Phobos is getting pretty low. Being outranged by the Fire Prism. They really want to take out this bunker. It's going to destroy anything that's inside. There we go. Looks like Mustafa's still getting a bunch of lag. But nobody else is. 32 to 8. Oh, that's the game. I think that's the game. Double cap does it. And Chaos with a really good comeback. I wonder how much of a difference Mustafa's lag made. He wasn't have an avatar on the way at the end. But Centzontotochtin, I think, MVP for the amount of pressure they were able to exert on the mid and on the east side too. Look, no power here. Really well played. Looks like good his heroes. Level 5 Plague Champion. Level 8 Sorcerer. We had a level 4 Chaos Lord. Warp Spider Exarch was level 4 and downwards, going for this VP at the end. Smart to put the Shrine on it. Level 4 Warlock and a level 4 Farseer. All 3 of them down at the end trying to get those caps. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And a big thanks to these players for taking part. And Impregnable for the host. And I'll see you next time.